Evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday night. God, these weeks are going by so quickly, and it feels like I say that every week. But yes, being busy does mean that time does fly. Well, you might notice that's a strange person. Who's that in the audience tonight? Well, yes, we have someone new with us this evening, a fan of the podcast, and does always like to bring in the banter and the chat while he's watching the show. Now finds himself in the show. We have Andy Prowsey with us tonight. Evening, Andy. How are you doing?
Hello, Mike. Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for the invites. Really appreciated. Evening, Gav.
Hello, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
So how's your week been, Andy? What you've been up? Well, I know what you've been up to, and we're going to talk about it a bit later as you into your new sports massage therapy. But what else have you been up to this week?
Well, a bit of a mixed bag, really. I was out having a good game of golf on Tuesday morning, shooting my best score all winter. Wife was in hospital having a hot hand operation. And unlike Derriford, they did it really quickly. So I had to leave the golf course and go and collect her from hospital. So, yeah.
Ruined your golf day.
It did indeed, mate. But there'll be plenty more.
Yeah, Andy, who sometimes appears in the chat as Just Gone Golf. I think that's the one, isn't it? That's your handle at the moment. Gavin, you said to me just before we went live, it's been another busy week. You normally know when we're both flat out because we barely catch up with each other on WhatsApp. And we let everybody else, even in the group, just flutter away with what's going on. But yeah, so another busy week for you?
Yes. Yeah, I've got a day full tomorrow as well. So I'm very much longing for the weekend at the minute to get some R&R if I can.
Good. Have you caught up on the press conference and stuff like that today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, about half an hour ago.
Yeah. So yeah, I did watch some of it. So we will get that injury update. And I don't know what this Ewan's on about in the chat here, but we do have proper jobs. Thank you very much. Ewan's land or whatever, Ewan's and land 4633. So I'm hovering over the block the user, but I'll give him a chance if he's going to just nip in and nip out. A few people in the chat we've got today. Let me just have a look who we got in. Nikki's already joining us just now. Evening, lads, she says, and the newbie. To you, Paul. Matt Montgomery saying, welcome on screen, Andy. Enjoy tonight. Debbie first saying, evening all. Hope you are all well. And evening to you, Andy. Ethan Prosser, evening all. Hope you're looking forward to Saturday. Well, yeah. What's it going to bring us? Matt Montgomery also saying earlier, well, I would rather not talk about injuries getting boring now, although we've got some coming back. So obviously we're going to touch upon it. Let's raise the roof at the Theatre Greens for whatever team turns out. We will do what we can and hopefully they will do too. Baz in the Cloud saying, evening chaps, injuries marginal, improvement. No Plaguey or Tegan for the rest of the season. The Tegan one is just absolutely devastating. We'll come to that. Still have to wait a few weeks for the others. Spicy Wedges, evening all. He says the Wedges are up in that they're Lincolnshire at the moment. Might take a trip to Lincoln City tomorrow to see if I can derail their title charge. Sorry, I can't get my words out then. What else we got? Michael Hawks, a Reading fan, is in. Evening all. Hope you are all well. See the injury list is a little better. So, So we'll sort of, I suppose, come on to the press conference notes, but just to give you a bit of a roundup of what we're going to talk about tonight. So we've got Andy on with us, as I've said. So Andy is going to talk us through a little bit about what he's up to. And we thought it was quite good timing to bring him in with regards to sports therapy massaging on the back of the injuries that we have. But it's something that we can then learn from Andy and also give Andy a little plug. We do like to, sort of do that and get some fans on. So beware, more of you will get the opportunity if you want to come in as well. Later on, we'll also have Heather will join us and just remind you all of the game that we've got going, or the women's game that we've got going on Sunday too. So I suppose, as there was no game Tuesday, let's crack on with what came up in the press conference. Now, I've only got 2 slides because even Argyle didn't put out many comments. They must have had the student placement covering that today. So TC, after 4 away games in 2 weeks and the league leaders at home, we look like a tired team at Rotherham. To mix some good preparation work with some rest for the players this week has been key. He provided an update on the injury list. So I'll take a deep breath in. Here we go. Connor Hazard will be assessed early, 2 or 3 days. He won't be available on Saturday, but I expect him to return to the squad in 10 days. Brendan Galloway is out running, similar time frame to Connor. Matthews is back in a minute. He's trained all week. We've not received good news, though, on Julio Pleguezuelo, but he'll be out for a few weeks. Brendan Wiredu has been running outside, a bit more pain-free. I'm expecting Wigan for him. We have to be patient on Bradley Ibrahim, though. He won't be a long time, but I can't give a time frame. Laurent Talai is 3 more weeks. His recovery is going well. Tegan Finno, sadly, won't play again this season as he has a significant hamstring injury. And also the last question that they put, or the last quote they put up, Herbie Kane has trained all week on Saturday. We've got Herbie, Owen Dale, Matthias Ross back, and on Tuesday we could have Brendan Wiredu back.
Brendan Wiredu.
Brendan Wiredu. I think, Gav, you just said there might be a bit of patchiness in the stream, so apologies for that. Also, I can see Andy has dealt with some of his Wi-Fi and internet issues, so...
Did you miss me?
Have you got a stable connection yourself now, Andy?
I don't. I think I'm unstable. I don't know about stable, mate. Nice to see you, chaps.
Hello, Andy.
Yeah,
welcome
mate.
back in.
Andy,
We've got 2 Andys to deal with tonight. So let me just let me click onto this next slide. So Finley summarised the injury list on his Argyle News Hub channel that we always help plug and push. So just to recap all these injuries that we've got. So Connor Hazard is a groin. Matthias Ross was Achilles, but in the press conference cleverly said it was a bit of a sharp pain he was feeling there, but it's cleared up completely. And obviously, as well as we are all pleased and that he will be fit and ready. He's been training all week, so that's good news. It didn't muster anything more than that. Brendan's was abdominal and pelvic problem. Pleguezuelo was his calf. Laurent Talai is his muscle tear in his leg. Hamstring for Herbie Kane, but should be back, which is good. Galloway is a hernia. He's had that operation, but that's going to take time, of course, just to ease him back in. Joe Rules, we know, is out season for the hamstring. Owen Dale, injury in training, but should be fit and available for Saturday. And Gavin, the Tegan Finn one, we sort of talked about it on Saturday night, and a few hinted to the fact that he looked like he pulled or felt his hamstring early in the second half. Clearly that was the case. But the poor lad gets a sniff of game time and then goes and pulls a hammy that sees him out for the whole season.
Yeah. It's called the law of sod, Mike.
Yeah.
I think we need to get some high priest into the changing rooms with lots of holy water, sprinkle it around, and to exercise whatever demons are hanging around the training centre and the changing room. It is a shame, but I think he did it early in the second half. But looking at the game back,
second half or first half?
First half. I think he did this probably 15, 20 minutes in, looking at it, because he kind of pulls up and, like all young, keen and brackets stupid in a good way, people that want to impress go, I'll be all right. I think if he'd been Joe Rolls' age, he probably would have stuck his hand in the air straight away and said, off I come. But that's the exuberance of youth, I suppose. And what is interesting today is TC said he's still walking around like he's fine, but he's basically done what Joe did, I think. Quite a big tear. So that's the season done. It'll be a big learning for him. But I can see why he did it, because when he came on at Luton, I was there. He looked one of the only people that were interested, quite frankly, and scored a good goal and was probably thinking, finally, I get my time. I've been selected in front of Amici, who's the highest paid player in the club. I'm going to show everyone now why I'm, should be in this team at 17 and go on and do great things. And unfortunately for him, it hasn't happened, which is a real shame.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just, I suppose the keenness as well. If he did feel it in that early in that first half, there's probably an element of wanting just to try and work it and see if he could run it off. But yeah, tear's pretty bad, isn't it? And hopefully he can just come back stronger and better, get himself ready for the pre-season and get himself going for the new season ahead. It's got to be the worst thing ever, though. Same with Pleggy, isn't it? Cleverly was saying, wasn't he, that we've just got to get him through a full pre-season and get him going again. So whether or not we will realistically see him, I think will only be a case of if he's fit and if we have to, if we're clutching at straws because of any more injuries, touch wood, at the end of the season.
Also, I think if the way I read that from that press conference tonight, well, when I watched it, was if we're pushing for a playoff place, we're throwing him back in. If the season's done and dusted, he can go and he can go and get himself ready for next year. That's the way I read it. Is if there's something to play for, they'll get him back in 6 or 8 weeks or whatever it is for the last couple of games, maybe the playoff final if that's where we are, with a bit of good wins. If we're sitting 8th, 9th, 10th, I think he'll probably get a rest and get what he needs, which is a good pre-season, and come back stronger in August.
Yeah, totally. In terms of players that are available that are coming back, so obviously Owen Dale should be okay. Herbie Kane, did he say for Saturday?
Yeah. So Ross, Kane, and Dale are back Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday night there'll be Wordy.
Yeah, which is because it's another 4 games, isn't it, back to back, if I recall. So more pressure on the squad. Andy, I'll come to you as in Grumpy Loyal. It's these injuries are frustrating. There's nothing we can do about it. It's good that we've got some players coming back. I think Ross is a key one because Mitchell does feel more comfortable. Clearly, he's done a lot of game time with him. So that gives us a little bit of hope that we can get some stability back in there. But other than Teague and Finn, which we sort of half expected after that game, no additional injuries, touch wood. But next few games back to back, it's going to be interesting with squad rotation, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Ross coming back into the side is going to be the big one, isn't it? We need someone in the midfield. Hopefully, Kane will come back in and sit alongside Mr. Boateng. That'll keep him happy. But yeah, we've missed Ross, haven't we, in that last game? I just think, although I love Pleggy, and Pleggy's a great player for us, I don't think he was up to match fitness. Yeah, he was out there running around, but he wasn't sort of throwing himself at stuff, was he? No, Pleggy does. But yeah, we sort of need that. We need that experience back in there again. We've missed that for the last couple of games, and it's cost us. Certainly the Luton game. So we have to wait and see now. Hopefully we can push on and get these players back in and keep them fit this time. And then hopefully back some points. We need to get points against Doncaster. I think Wigan's going to be tough on Tuesday as well. So yeah.
It's the Andy P, your turn to come in. I mean, it's one of those where we thought these next few games, with Luton, Doncaster after the Cardiff win, we're going to be, ones where we could go and get some good points. And yeah, it started off in the worst possible way, and maybe overdoing it in Cardiff and potentially not resting certain players in that Tuesday night game as well, not helping.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'll go back to my comment I put in the group chat recently that I don't even want to think about promotion this season. We struggled for 2 years in the Championship. We've had an awful start to this season. I just want to see some time and a season of stability at the club, getting the players that we want for the big push, keeping them injury free. When one player is not available, somebody of the same quality is available to bring into the squad. And let's have a really good season for the club and the fans next year, and really make that push for promotion.
It's a bit like
mid-table for me. I'd say it's a success after the way the season started.
Yeah, I think we would certainly all we certainly all would take that. Survival after the start in any way, shape or form will be good and should be achievable. 2 wins will get us that. I think that magic points number. Voodoo saying in the chat, I'm starting to spot a pattern. If we have a full squad, we win. If we don't, we lose. And it does feel pretty much as simple as that. Cleverly also saying in the presser that, if we had the players available like Lincoln have had, then we could be right up there. But it's all if, buts, and maybes. Gavin, he did say and picked up. He was asked by Chris Errington about, do they know or have they identified yet what the injury causes? Might be why they might be occurring. And he said he's looked at obviously training, travel. Nutrition, players' accountability, the whole sort of support team has got, focus on it to understand what the situation is. I thought it was a little bit interesting. I think I heard this right, but he was asked about what he meant by the players, from the players' point of view. And he said, well, professional says what it is. He said, I said to them that. So, maybe add a bit of 20% more onto that. He was sort of just wanting to rule everything out, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, they're paid to play football and they're paid to look after themselves out of football. I think I said on Thursday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, whatever day it is, that Joe Edwards was singled out as being the ultimate pro in his, 550th season or whatever it is for us. That he's looks after himself the best, recuperates the best, got his best diet, keeps himself in trim over the summer, blah, blah, blah. And that's why he's had such longevity, and he can, in his mature years, carve out, 10 starts on the bounce Saturday, Tuesday. And I think, I'm not saying it was a dig, because he did say the squad's very good and they're all looking after themselves, blah, blah, blah. But he did say something along the lines of, when you think you're doing your best, you could probably find another 10%. And whether that's sleeping better, eating better, recuperating better, resting better, whatever, especially this part of the season, we've done very well to dig ourselves out of the dirt, basically. And just when we thought we were going to be the dastardly devils that beat everyone and get in the playoffs, we had 7-8 injuries in a week, which has put the kibosh in it. So I'm sure he's probably just thinking, and I think on memory he said there's like 4 or 5 things to this. There's the players, there's the S&C, there's the diet, there's the training, there's the travel, there's the recuperation, that type of thing. And we're going to look at all of them, which is fair. But I think, asking the players to give another 10% to what they do, which is, rest, recuperate, eat well, sleep when they can, best they can. It can only help them with their own bodies and their own minds to play the best they can and to stay fit, I suppose.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm just going to read a few more comments that have come in. It's a quiet one tonight, but thank you to all of you that are in and joining as usual. Let me just scroll back a few on the comments. What we got? There we go. Done that one. Right, let me get with it. Darren, PAFC NYC, evening all. Are you dialing in from New York City? Out of interest, Darren, but welcome an evening to you. Michael Hawks, welcome. Andy getting in tonight. 2 Andys. You're spoilt for Andys tonight. Stephen Cooper saying, evening, Gav. Your team be good tonight. Not sure what he means by line up, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we do. Although Carl is not with us, he's working. He's not passed away or anything. He's working. He has sent us his.
He's not dead or anything. He's just working.
Yeah,
to be fair, Andy does look a bit like Carl, did it? Just without the beard.
That's true. Great one. Another one. We've also got fancy spending some time with your kids instead of discussing tactics for Saturday.
I'm not sure.
Don't get what that person is on about again with another random comment. So bye to you, Matt Montgomery. You can tell me to mind my own, Gavin, if you don't mind me asking. What do you do for a living? Appears you do a fair bit of travelling. Go on then, Gav. Answer that one.
Triggers broom. I for my sins, I own and run an advisory company for companies that buy and sell their companies or raise capital, debt or equity, or help them improve to sell. Essentially, that's all I do mainly, but not a lot down here, unfortunately. Although I do have a client in Plymouth now, which is lovely. Most of my clients are Bristol and beyond, so I have to spend an hour and a half to get into what everyone else calls civilization before I can see a client normally. So that's why I spend a bit of time away.
Yeah, like last Thursday, that was a Southampton slogging back, wasn't it? Oh, sorry,
Not
Andy.
thought about living in Exeter then, Gav.
Sorry?
Not thought about living in Exeter then?
No. I went there for a meeting once. I came out in a big rash and hives. So I've been back.
First shake.
Moving on from that word, Matt Montgomery saying you can tell. I haven't read that one. Party Gamer Boy CJ says, evening guys. We've also got Matt Montgomery saying community mental health support worker. Why I fit in so well with the Block 9 when the bedwetting commences, like that. Stephen Kuba, Andy, what's the cause for you getting a hamstring? Did we say who said that?
I don't know.
No, not sure. Not sure, Stephen, what you're on about with that reference. What we got? Voodoo also saying at last something without politics and all the other stuff going on in the world. Yeah. Sadly, that is. We shall stay out of those conversations. Andrew T, evening mate, he says, saw Finn pull up in the first half, and that was a shame, with reference to his torn hamstring. Ben Bennett Florian as well sits in front of us at the Block 9. He's dropped in earlier saying, evening all. Baz saying maybe Glenn Hoddle's got contacts for one. I'm not sure what that was going back to.
Spiritual. I think exercising in the changing room might go on.
Yeah, good point. Good picked up on. Well picked up on that. Argyle's new sponsor for 26-27 is Benetton Health. Never mind curling pasties. Likely you'll strain your finger tendons. We have loads of centre back cover, so can't see Pleggy playing. No, and Mitchell did note that in his part of the presser. I think he said he's never known there to be so many options available in centre back. So, and actually, speaking of Mitchell, he is second now to Malachi Boateng for the most minutes for Argyle this season. So the only time he did slip out was obviously the passing of his mum. So where I think it was 2 or 3 games he missed. So that says a lot about not just Edwards as the example, but Boateng and also Mitchell as those examples as well. So, right. Let's have a look. Let's go on to the opponents on Saturday then. Let's see what Doncaster have been up to recently. So I've got a colleague who sits opposite me at work, so who's going to have bragging rights when it comes to Monday, we shall see. But Doncaster did eventually get themselves out of the drop zone recently, but they did get hammered by Cardiff 4-0 the other day. But they on the back of back-to-back wins. So the last 5 games, a loss, 2 wins, a loss and a win for them. So they're picking up points at a good time. I'll come to you, Grumpy Loyal. So, yeah, just make sure you unmute yourself. Yeah, they've been picking up some points. So a bit like us having a couple of games of form, but then slipping back, which you can forgive them for being Cardiff. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't know really how this one's going to go on Saturday.
Yeah, we're getting towards the business end of the season now, aren't we? And people are going to look to pick up points wherever they can. At whatever cost they can, and whoever they can hurt. You know, as we found out last week. We played a side last week who were physical against us. We picked up injuries last week. So it's going to be a physical game. We have beaten Doncaster already this season, 5-1 at their own patch. That means nothing. That was a while ago. Personnel has changed since then on both sides. So it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a pushover that anyone thinks it's going to be or should be. You know, looking at position wise. So I'm looking for a tight game. Probably going to go 2-0 to Argyle, but it's going to be a tight game.
Yeah, it's certainly. I mean, Doncaster are sat in 33rd position on 39 points, but you know it doesn't take much, as we know. They could jump a few places to get up to 15th. They could jump Exeter. Potentially, what's their goal difference? Or no, maybe not, because of their goal difference is minus 19. So, well, we're on -1. It's never looked as good as that when we were down with the high numbers of goals conceded. Andy P, what are you thinking, and what's your thoughts going into that game on Saturday?
I have no idea on picking a lineup, but where TC's been asking for that 10%, I honestly believe that's down to us. I mean, the Cardiff game, when the ground was bouncing, the atmosphere was great. We were unplayable, you know, and I don't think any team from any league would have been comfortable at that ground on that Saturday afternoon, you know. Yeah. And, you know, we really need to spur them on no matter how the lads are playing. We just got to stay behind them, That's why we're giving up our Saturday afternoons. You know, we know that they're now playing for the badge, or at least I feel they are. Everyone's putting the effort in. Whether they're up to the standard we want them to be, that's not for me to say. But I'll just back them all the way for the 90-odd minutes. And, let's hope they can do it.
Yeah, I think, it's one of those where it's typical Argyle to have a good performance. Saying that, obviously, it wasn't against Lincoln, but that, you know, going against a team that want to come at you. You know, we had a strong lineup. You know, that proved effective, and then we go against Rotherham, where you expect at least something away from that after recent away performances. And obviously, I didn't see it, but when we talked about it on Saturday, you know, it was just those back-to-back games and probably pushing that extra a bit harder in the Cardiff game. You know, definitely burnt a few engines out, put a few fires out in that game come the end. But yeah, I mean, Gavin, we've got to win these games, though, haven't we? I mean, injuries or not, there's still a decent number of players there, and at home, it's not been our proving ground that much this season, but we've really got to get a result, haven't we?
Yeah. So in a simple term, we've already walloped Donny 5-1. They've been on a run. To answer someone's question, they've kept the same management team, same structure. So a little mini revival like we have. Got some players back fit, and as someone said, they've signed Lee, who's a very good player. I watched them in the Ver2 against Stockport on Tuesday, I think it was, evening. And they played some good stuff, actually. They played through the thirds. They got down both wings quite effectively. They had a reasonably good back 3 to 4, depending whether they're in or out of formation, possession. And they look a much better team than we went up there and walloped them 5-1 when Talai got a hat-trick and an assist. I think Aseni got the other one. So we should put them to the sword at Home Park. I don't know what the crowd's going to be. That they won't bring 1,800 like Cardiff did. That's a fact. They might bring 400 or 500, I would imagine. Maybe 1,000 at most. But they've got nothing really to play for now. They're knocked out the Ver2. And they're probably going to sit bottom mid-table, I would imagine, end of the season. So they've got nothing else really going on. But they're going to want more points to secure themselves and make sure they keep that gap between that and the bottom 3. But instead that, you know, we've got, I'll put a team up in a minute. You'll show, I'm sure. I think we've got a team that's strong enough to beat them. One thing I did see as a bit of a pattern, every time there was an aggressive press from Stockport, which wasn't that often, they sort of fell apart like a sandcastle at high tide a little bit in terms of their centre backs weren't all that gifted. They were probably not quite as accomplished as Maldini or Mitchell, as I call him, for us in terms of being on the ball. So I think if we get back to our intense press and that front 2 and the sort of 2 wide midfielders lock on, I think we will score some goals by winning possession back high up the field. But yeah, you're right. If we got any ambition to be anywhere near the playoffs, and I must admit, I agree with Andy a little bit. I don't think this year is all about promotion. I think it'd be the worst thing we could do. But I'd quite like a playoff final and lose. That sounds bad, doesn't it? But I'd like £1 million in the coffers for the sake of going to Wembley and filling it. $1 million and a bit more, actually, with the TV bits that go on top. That'd be nice, and I think that would be a great end to a season for us. If we went up, I think we will be really in the doodle. I think we're back to struggling again. But best case scenario for me would be get 6th on last day of the season, win our semi-final, get to Wembley and lose in a tight game, penalty shootout or something. I know it might be a bit of heartbreak, but I think that'd do us the world of good. Because if you remember the Shuey season when we finished, I think it was 7th, when we got walloped to MK Dons on that last day of the year, they were in early. They knew what they needed to do to succeed. They needed to get better quality in the final third, to have stronger depth, and then we went through and walloped the league and got 101 points. So, I think we should be beating sides like Doncaster, to answer your question eventually, and we'll get the playoffs and throw it. What I'm doing. I think what will be interesting, if with a very weakened squad, if we win the next 2 back to back, that does make it very interesting then.
Yeah.
Because we could have Talai back for Reading, which would be interesting, and Hazard. Go up there and give them a good go, although they're on fire at the minute. And then we are at it. But I think if we can get 6 points on our next 2 games, which is home to Doncaster, away to Wigan, which should be feasible, even with the side we have, we're back in the hunt then. It just goes to show how bad this league is, isn't it? Where you can have a couple of bad runs and you're still there or thereabouts because Huddersfield couldn't win a raffle on Saturday either. So, and Stockport are having a challenging time, although they obviously got through to the Virtue final. So, yeah, but we should be very positive and very confident about winning the game of football on Saturday with the players we've got back.
Yeah, I think it was Doncaster that Stockport beat on Tuesday. So Doncaster did have that midweek game. Was it Tuesday or last night? So they did have that midweek game. I know Grant McCann came out saying about them being more ruthless and stuff like that in their sort of style of play, but they let themselves down in that trophy exit. But it's difficult because it can be so up and down with performances. But I think with the fresher pair of legs, the rest that it sounds like TC's given the players more so this week. If we can't turn up and start taking control early in that game, then I'll be amazed. Some of the comments, what we got, Matt Montgomery saying, totally agree with Gavin. Better build a bit of positivity and foundation for next season. My feeling we get 62 points by the close. Voodoo saying, Tala won't be seen again, I'm afraid. Come on, Voodoo.
Tala is what he's saying. He's trying to be up to date with current affairs. It's a bit of a
sorry,
for you answer. Never mind.
Yeah, it is.
And he was the one who said it's nice not to see any current affairs finally, and that we can just talk about.
He did. How's that ankle, Voodoo? By the way, get up and step on it and see if it's eased up a little bit. No, we love you, really. Peter Henwood saying we need to play our ass in gear, get our ass in gear, excuse me, so we can play the mighty Spurs next season. Peter, being an Arsenal fan, is enjoying Spurs losing and being down to 10 men, I think he said earlier. Andrew T saying that did they go strong against Stockport? I don't know. Don't know the squad, so can't answer that. Sorry, Andrew. Matt Montgomery's going for a 2-2. Baz in the Cloud says cannot underestimate how much the crowd can give them a lift on the pitch, despite what is going on. And also Michael Hawks, who's a Reading fan, just saying earlier to Andy P, saying very passionate fan, brilliant Andy. And Matt Montgomery saying amen, Andy P. It's easy to be negative, yet it does not help anyone. Prefer to be positive and roar them on. So it's called the setup and the punchline, Gavin, says Voodoo.
Tish.
Yeah, that's it. Watch and learn. Go on, Andy.
Mike,
Grumpy.
I'm going to stick a little spanner in the works here. I hear what Gab said about playoffs and stuff and losers in the playoffs. I actually think, why don't we go, if we do get to the playoffs, why don't we just, go for it, get into the champ? I think Cleverly's done well. I don't know if you saw the post on. Did you see the post on Facebook about Cleverly and this season and what he's had to deal with, what he's had to, the team has had to pick. I think he's done really well to get us into the position we are with the squad we've got, with freezing ravaged with injuries and suspensions and stuff. So I think if we do get to the champ and he changes his team and brings the players he wants to bring in, that we stand a good chance of staying up there next season.
I'll just say before I get Gavin to respond to that, I think it would absolutely screw us if we went up by fluking it at the end of this season, Gav.
So I don't know respond to that. The last time we went up, we had Shuey, who was to 2.5 years of continuity. We had a squad that was very, very settled, that knew each other inside out. We didn't lose anybody that year. We gained a couple. And we struggled, quite frankly. Now, you can't go up to the champ, rebuild a squad, because we'd need realistically, I don't know what everyone else thinks. I think we need 12, 14 new players if we went to the champ. As a minimum, you've then got a whole cycle of upheaval again of new midfield you'd need, because those guys that were in there wouldn't be up to it. You'd need a new wing back or two. You'd need another. You'd keep Tolly, I think, but you'd need another 1 or 2 good strikers. You'd need a couple of whether Amici could figure in the Championship, I don't know. But I think you'd need a dozen new players. You're then back to where we were this year, which was no one really knew each other's name until the end of September, beginning of October, and then we got through a good patch and then lost again. But yeah, I think it'd be. I think financially it'd be good. Financially, I think it'd be fine. It'd be very, very good for the club, and they fill the hole. But I think from a footballing perspective, I think it would be disastrous because you just don't have time to settle. If you look at I've watched, I don't know, 10, 15 Championship games this year. That it's just so intense. You can just see the massive gap between what's on the field there and what's on the field when we watch it on a Saturday. It's huge. So we'd have to spend big, and we'd have to have a lot of good luck behind us to get that continuity. If we had a squad that was fit and we'd got there and we'd been in around all year and they'd stayed, different conversation.
Yeah, I think Andy, I'll just unmute you as well because you're having phone feedback. But I think where are we going? I think the concern for me, and Andy P as well, I'll bring you in on this one, is yes, although financially it would be good, I still don't think it's a bit of a nervous disposition on that, and we'd have to go away and get players in. They're going to look at us like you would need a lot of players, as Gavin has said. They'll look at us and go, well, they weren't very convincing the whole of that season. That league was up and down, so you're not going to be someone's first choice. So it is going to. There will be a period of pain to try and get players in. And no sooner do you go up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love the Championship football. Cardiff gave us memories of what that football was like in those seasons. But yeah, I just think it would be a problem, and I'd rather
one caveat, Mike.
We just build it. Yeah.
One caveat is, I think with Derek Adams looking after recruitment, we'd be far shrewder with our pound, shillings, and pence getting players in than we would have done with the two previous recruitment or heads of recruitment. That's what I will say, is that I think he'd be far sharper at getting the right players to do the right job. Which that was probably the biggest bugbear when we were up last time. We recruited a load of tosh, quite frankly, and it's the first time in my living memory that I actually didn't like a few of the players that we're putting out. I didn't like the way they went about their business. I didn't like the way they conducted themselves. They had to drop as soon as we conceded a goal, and I think Miron sort of really put a magnifying glass on some of those characters, and they didn't see much football under him when he arrived. So, but yeah,
was it about 6 million we got for getting promoted to the Championship last season?
No, it's about a £9 million uplift in TV money.
Right.
So it's quite substantial. So I think we'll last full season. I haven't read the accounts on the time yet, but I think we're online to do about 32 million of revenue.
Yeah,
this year we'll do probably 21, I would suggest. So I think we've kept a lot of our commercial and hospitality revenue. The gates have been there or thereabouts, haven't they, compared to last year? It's only been the away fans really that have dropped off. We probably got down to 15,500, didn't we, when we were in the crap? But it's going to be there or thereabouts in terms of the like-for-like revenue, apart from that extra TV cash, which, to be honest, most of it was spent anyway on the playing squad.
Yeah, that's what worries me, Gavin and Andy, is that although it would help fill the hole at the moment, it could quite easily get sort of sucked out, and you would be, I think, we'd be fighting to try and survive in there initially, and you don't always want that. I don't disagree with Mark as well, who's pit there. Don't pit off tomorrow what you can do today. Go for it. Don't wait for anything. I get it, but it's just one of those where it could actually have such a bigger knock-on effect. And I think Simon knows if that is to happen, he probably knows deep down he does need to get the club sold because he probably wouldn't have the funds to deal with a situation if it went pear-shaped again. It's
just, I don't know how you feel, it's exhausting supporting Argyle when you're hanging on by your skin of your balls at the bottom of the Championship. It's just not a nice place to be.
Sometimes. That's a chance you take sometimes, isn't it? If you're up in the Champ, right? You're going to split. It's going to be easier to sell the club if we're in the Champ than it is in League One, because someone's going to go to a half decent Championship club. I mean, Argyle are quite a big
So would
club
you
in
class
the
us as
scheme of
half
it.
decent if we went up then, Andy? I don't think as a player you'd look at us and go, "Oh, that's going to be at the top of my list."
We don't know if you get that winning momentum towards the end of the season and you're winning a few games and you go up through the playoffs and you've won the playoff final and you're suddenly in the champ and you've got that winning memento, you're going to have that sort of carrying on to the early part of the season like it did under Shuey. Who's to say that we don't consolidate and stay there, even if we finish like 22nd again?
We don't know because we don't know who we recruit. It's all hypothetical.
Yeah.
But I just think from the way the club is at the minute, having a positive end to the season, even if we didn't get there, is a much, much more positive approach going into next season. It would be to languish 12th, 13th, 14th and whimper away from having this run and finish on 58, 59 points, finish 13th and say, well, of our remaining 12 games, we won 4 or 5, drew a couple and lost the rest. That's what I'm saying. So, but it wouldn't be disastrous, is what I'm saying, if we got through the playoffs and lost in the final, because we'd have a big chunk of change. We'd have a team on the up that would be positive and want to stay, even maybe Talai's want to stay at that stage. I don't know. And then you could recruit another 6, 7, 8 quality players for next year, and then you'd have a real go.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be too disappointed if we did fluke it up. It'd make me nervous, but I'd enjoy it regardless. Look at what Matt Montgomery's just said. What's criminal is if Leicester get relegated this year with their infrastructure, their training and conference facilities, our Premiership, and also as we seem to be sort of confident that someone like Amichi's on $9,000 a week, in Christ, that's just crazy. And go back to your point, Andy, about players who would want to take that chance, see a team in the Championship and stuff. Well, you also want to look at what Gavin said on the players that we did have come in, and you get those journeymen as well that you can sometimes get lumbered with, because that's your only sort of options, and we don't want to go back there. But a trip to Wembley and a defeat again.
I just think, look, a different manager, different scenario, right? Rooney sort of that. Everyone came to the club because of Rooney. The name was Rooney, wasn't it? Cleverly's learning his trade still. He's doing well with Adams in the background, sort of overlooking. And I think he's done really well this season. I'm not going to disrespect him because, it's been crap in some areas, but we've had some good football played there, and we're sort of 11th now with 6 points away from the playoffs.
Yeah, look, your post that you put on the Facebook page this week, I think, summed it up quite nicely. Voodoo will still stand out. It's all Derek Adams, won't you, Voodoo? But no, jokes aside, I think, it's settled. And all we can do is hope that himself, Adams, etc., can work then on bringing in the right players. Can we secure Mitchell? He was asked the question in the press conference. he does love it down here and all that sort of stuff. But I just think he's championship. He's got championship.
No.
If we're in the championship,
I'd have a tenner that he'll be in next year and signed as an Argyle player.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I won't hold you to that bet, but fair enough. Andy the Green, plenty of Andys tonight, says, I like the positivity, all this championship talk. Right, I'm gonna get our score predictions before I move on to our segment with Andy P. Gavin, what are you going for scoreline to Saturday?
I'm gonna go 2-0. Argyle.
Yeah, cool. Andy Grumpy. Unmute yourself.
He copies me every time. Gavin copies me every time. I say 2-0.
I'm going to copy you if I go first.
Yeah, exactly.
Copied me last week.
How does that work? If I go first, how am I copying you?
That's a valid point. But go on, Andy. What's your score?
2-0 to Argyle, and I think it's going to be Curtis and Boateng to score.
Fair enough. Andy P, don't copy Andy or Gavin. What are you going with scoreline on Saturday?
I'm going for an early goal, 3-0 win, and Hammond makes a save of the season.
Love that.
Oh, yeah. Hammond. Good shout. I think in the WhatsApp group, I went 1-0. I think I picked Curtis from recollection. No, it might have been. I don't know. I'm a little bit edgy and nervous at the moment, but we shall see. Stevie Vaughan going Argyle 4, Donny 1. Michael Hawke saying Championship, if you got 8th, could get in the playoffs in the Championship, laughing out loud. well, we might jump you in this race, Michael Hawkes and your Reading lot. Mark says we have to be more ambitious. You just have to go for gold and the rest will take care of itself. Life's a gamble. Yeah, like I said, if we went up there, the football's great. Even if we're poor, it would be great to be up there.
One thing I'll say is, I know this mythical 52 point stuff, but I think it was my brother who said earlier, I was talking to him on the phone, you get 52 points, the shackles are off then, can't go down.
Yeah.
You then start taking a little bit more, the odd riskier pass, you try and beat a man, you play with freedom, and all of a sudden you could go on a run. It's like when you see those sides that are relegated, they're under pressure. The minute they're down, they start beating everybody because the shackles are off. So if we can get the 52 points quite quickly, then we could just purely by taking the handbrake off and playing without any fear, because we've duffed a few sides up this year, including the league leaders. So I think once you start playing without a bit of fear, we could be an interesting proposition going into those playoffs. And then, as we all know, momentum's a big thing. So I'm not sitting here doom and gloom at all, but I just think from an infrastructure basis and a playing base, I think we'd struggle unless King Derek pulled a few absolute gems out of his back pocket for about 50p in the toffee, which is a speciality. So
done it before, mate. Done it before with Carey and Lamaris.
Yeah, no, he has.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Hawkes reminded me that in the chat. I actually chose Dale to score for the 1-0. Thank you for reminding me, Mike. Right, so we're going to move on. So something a little bit different. So Andy, who's been Andy P below me, who's been a fan of the show for a while now, always engages in comments, and we speak offline as well. He's gone into something very close to our hearts in terms of sports massage therapy, something that the players sound like they could do with at times at the moment. So I said to him, come on the show, join us for an episode and then tell us a bit about what you're doing. So he's not paying for this advertising slot. He's a fan and we support it. He might buy the odd beer for us later. But Andy, tell us a bit about yourself and what it is you get up to.
Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate the invite. Any person starting a small business knows how tough it is in a saturated market and when money's tight. So any opportunity to chat about something that I'm really passionate about, not just because it's my business. I've had a passion for the subject for quite a few years now. And that's basically because over 20 years ago, I suffered crushed fractured vertebrae in my back. I also had a serious knee injury. I had 2 further knee operations. I've currently got osteoarthritis in my lower back and knee. I see my sports massage therapist, which I pay for, minimum of once a month, and I have done for the last 3 years. But doing that and having these therapies has allowed me to carry on playing golf, playing a bit of 7-a-side football at my age, stupid I know, and jump out the seat at the Argyle just to shout abuse at the referee. And to be fair, this season it's been like doing squats all game. So that's a bit about me, where the passion came from. So I've probably been thinking about this for the last 10 years. I know it's never going to cure the underlying causes of my injuries, but having regular massages releases the muscles, releases the toxins, and to be honest, I come out of there feeling 10 years younger. So closer to now, back in September, I trained with Core Elements in Swindon to attain my diploma in sports massage therapy. And I can tell you it's 58 sitting down at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning to do an anatomy and physiology exam. It was not a lot of fun, but I passed, did my training and got all my qualifications. So my business, so I've named it Pro C Sports Massage. Most people call me Pro C. So Pro C was the closest I could think of. And it was simple. I haven't got a very big brain. I work a few days a week, growing my client base. My belief is that pain reduction should not be a luxury. Keeping my prices real for the average person to afford. I'll always leave appointment spaces free to treat people when they need it, not making you wait 7 to 14 days. I currently charge £25 for a consultation and a treatment, which I think is,
very fair.
Is fair and makes it available to most people in our community. Inside the business, I've got clients, both male and female, from so many different backgrounds and occupations, all benefiting from the therapy. So whether you're sat at a desk for 40 hours a week, on your tools, professional in sport, or live a sedentary lifestyle, every background can benefit from an hour on the massage table. I know from personal experience and experience of my family, people have been put off sports massage previously because therapists use too much pressure. They've not enjoyed it and have left in as much pain as when they came in to see the therapist. I don't work like that. I'm very client-based, and the idea is for you to guide me while I do specific treatments on you. Through personal experience, I do promote sports maintenance massage. This is a regular 1 hour session to keep yourself in the best possible condition for your own ability and enjoyment of life. I've had a client turn up to me the evening before going away on a golf trip who couldn't turn his neck. An hour later, he walked out pain-free and able to go on and enjoy 4 days on a golf trip. So that's putting yourself out for an hour with a massive benefit. I've also had another client who lives a very busy lifestyle, running his own business. When I was working on his neck and back, he fully went off to sleep.
Were you talking about Argyle out of interest?
I was. Well, to be honest, mate, I can put most people off to sleep.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Don't worry.
Is what his body was crying out for. It's just that hour of switching off from everything we do in our busy lives. So it's not just the physical side of it. It's the mental relaxation you can get from taking an hour out for yourself. It doesn't have to be sports massage, but I'd advocate everybody taking time out for themselves to clear their head. There was a point in my life where I honestly thought I needed another knee operation. I was in that much pain bending my knee. I went and saw a reputable therapist. An hour later, the pain was gone after they found a tight muscle in my quad. So I was lucky. But my business model replicates what I've wanted to see in a therapist in terms of cost and availability. I believe helping people to live better lives, which are pain-free at a reasonable price, is something that we should all be looking towards. And, I'm at the stage in my life now where I've had my main career and I actually do get a buzz. It's not just about the money. Seeing people come in and being able to help people to live a better life gives me a real buzz. So that's why I'm hoping to promote it wherever I can. As we all know, we experience in our life, there's nothing worse than being in pain where you potentially can't do your job and you cannot get access to help. So that's why my business model is always leaving those spaces to help people when they need it. Being flexible, obviously, I'm never available at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. We're playing at home. We've got to draw it.
If we're playing bad, you might go rather stay at home. Thanks.
Yeah, so it's good. Everyone lives in their own abilities. We shouldn't be looking at other people, what they're capable of doing. If we can do something to improve our lives, whether it's to increase our enjoyment of sport, making our job easier, or even being able to run around after grandkids, we've all got to look after ourselves and look at doing things like that. Yeah. So I know not everybody's as passionate as me, but I'll try and go on to a little bit about what sports massage is about, give everybody an insight. So sports massage is a targeted therapeutic and often deep tissue manipulation of soft tissue muscles, tendons and ligaments and fascia. It's designed to support individuals engaged in regular physical activity. It helps prevent injury, reduces muscle tension, enhances performance, and speeds up recovery after strenuous exercise. And the key aspects, focuses techniques including deep tissue, kneading, frictions to release tight muscles, break down adhesions. It's a targeted approach. So unlike a full body relaxation massage, you might just have a certain area of your body that needs targeting. We can work that area and you will get benefits from it. For many clients, when I see them, it's been that many years since they've been able to access any form of treatment. They suffer with tension throughout their whole body. So, you know, it is a gradual process of breaking down those years of wear and tear and tightness and tension across the body. If we think about how this could be used in a more sporting environment, such as a footballer, that's why we're all here tonight, because we love our football. Sports massage will be used in pre-event, you know, pre-match, which is more light, fast-paced to increase circulation and prepare the muscles for the activity that you're going into. Post-event, you could look at a deeper, slower massage to aid the removal of waste products like lactic acid and reduce soreness. Maintenance is regularly scheduled to prevent injury, improve range of motions. Those benefits, as we said, are increased flexibility, reduced muscle fatigue, improved blood flow, faster rehabilitation of soft tissue injuries. Whilst often used by athletes to improve performance, it's highly beneficial for anyone suffering with chronic pain, muscle tension, or stiffness from daily activities like sitting at a desk. It's not just about relaxation, but improving the structural health of the musculoskeletal system. If any of you have ever suffered, if you get a particularly tight muscle somewhere in your body, maybe in your lower back and your glutes, that can have the effect of making you compensate and start throwing your spine out, so the pain just gets tighter, worse, and increases. And, you know, it's no good for any of us.
The sciatic nerve, Andy, just on that point is, you know, sort of, if anybody, I've had chiropractic work every now and then. I'm not gone full sports massage, but if you go on socials and you end up seeing these videos, you get hooked into watching people snap, crackle, and pop with chiropractors, and you see sports massages, and, you know, but it can be, it's, you know, if you've got a severe issue like a trapped sciatic nerve, it can take some work to get it out, which can be quite painful at the time, but I've not suffered with it, luckily. But then the release, once it is managed out, can just be life-changing, can it?
100%. You know, like you said, Mike, it can be painful at the time. And what you will get after release of deep tension is what's called DOMS. Same as playing sport, delayed onset muscle soreness.
Right, yeah.
That can come out from 24 to 48 hours time. Once you go through that period, you really feel the difference of, you know, the benefit. Yeah. Not all sports massage therapists are the same. You know, I've seen some that have not worked for me because we all use different techniques. So it's the same as any line of business. You know, if you've got a chronic problem, don't do nothing. You know, if you go and see 6 different therapists and find out which is the best one for you, if that's going to change your life for the next 40 years, crack on and do it. You know, just don't sit there popping pills, going to the doctor, because it won't get better by itself. You know, and as what a therapist also does is give you ways, once they've done their work, to stop it reoccurring as bad, maybe giving you different stretches, postural things to do, anything we can to help.
Yeah, I think, I mean, look, guys, you can go and get your body sorted out and get all those tensions out, and at the same time with Andy, have a damn good moan about Argyle as well. You know, so, I mean, I said on Saturday, Andy, that there's an element of where potentially, you know, Argyle might be using different techniques, modern techniques to, you know, machines to do this and to do that. You see players rested up that are, you know, on socials with all sorts of gizmos around them. But, you know, getting your hands in there and feeling that issue is really where it's at, isn't it still?
It is for me.
Yeah.
And the regularity of seeing somebody, you get to learn their body, their muscle structures, their tight areas, and you actually get to feel where you're helping them month on month. And I'll use myself as an example. When I first started seeing a therapist regularly 3 years ago, you know, he really was having to go elbow in, full pressure on my back.
Yeah.
But after a few sessions, that pressure becomes lighter because you're not trying to mend something in one session as he was at the start. You're then just maintaining it, and it's much lighter. So,
yeah. And also where the muscle can be sat tight or in the wrong position for a long time. Yeah, the pain, the stiffness, the pain afterwards for a day or two, as you mentioned. I've had that before with a massage years ago. It does. It's been bound up for so long. You can't expect it just to release and then be happy and hunky dory, can you? So, but it's. How can people then, Andy, get in touch with you to book an appointment?
At the moment, I'm just doing it through mobile. I'll put my business card onto the WhatsApp group we're on. But for now, so people can listen to it on playback, my mobile is 07875 353 938. Send me a message. We'll discuss what the options are, and hopefully I can help you or give you some advice.
Yeah, get in touch with Andy. If not, or let us know, and we'll post something out. Do you have a Facebook page at the moment? Have you set anything up yet for that?
No, I haven't, Mike. I'm still in the early processes.
That's all right. That's all right.
IT is not my friend, so
I'm sure we can help you with that at some stage. But yeah, get in touch with us or Andy directly. But yeah, look, appreciate you sort of coming on, and happy to give you that bit of insight to everybody. And as Voodoo said, does he do ankle massages as he is recovering from that massage? But I think for me, at some stage, I know you shouted at me for it last year to have one, and I think I will do that because my back is certainly tightening up again. That's for sure, and I think Andy knows what that feels like as well with his back.
Yeah, I certainly do, mate. And Andy, just while you're here, mate, just make sure you touch base if you want some some tips with IT stuff. Give me a shout.
Thank you, mate.
I wouldn't. He could barely get on earlier with his phone. So
got no Wi-Fi, for goodness sake. I'm on the data.
Yeah. So there is something. I'm going to bring Heather in now because we will get Heather to talk about the ladies' game. Evening Heather on Sunday. She's been waiting so patiently. There's the cat making an appearance. How you doing, Heather?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. You're in a different room. Are you in a different room? No, you're not. You're at a different angle.
Same room. I'm just at the actual desk this time instead of dragging my kitchen table in all the time.
Yeah. Well, before I go to you, there was something that Gavin or Andy might have been reminding me I didn't do, and that was the lineups for Saturday. So let's get that out the way. Sorry, folks, busy week, and my mind's not with it. But if I go and see Andy P, then I might be able to release some tension and get myself focused again. Gavin, it's your lineup that I've put up on screen first. So take everybody through your selection for Saturday.
Well, first of all, my lineup 11 is still swirling around saying saving that I did it at 7 o'clock. So
it is a bit cut off on the right, isn't it?
So anyway, but with what we've got available, I did this, I don't know, just after tea time. Obviously Hammond in goal. So we've got I think Mr. McKenzie deserves his first start, having had three good cameos really, and a half. I thought his half of Rotherham was probably the better. One of the better players on the field. He certainly got a bit of a snap and intensity. It's nice to have Mr. Ross back in the middle of the defence with Mitchell where he belongs. Joe at right back, again where he belongs, having had a game and a half in centre midfield, which was, we'll call it interesting and leave it there. Midfield, I've gone Herbie Kane to start. I know that Clev said he's going to start one of the two, with Boateng back, who should be fit enough to start a game as well on Tuesday. I'd probably give them 45 minutes each on Tuesday, which should give enough for Herbie to start a game on Saturday. And if we're 2-3 up, then take him off and maybe bring Benarous on in the middle of midfield, which is what I was calling for last week, alongside Malik. So Herbie Kane and Malachi Boateng as the two central midfielders. I've got Ronan Curtis back on the right, again, where I think he belongs. Caleb Watts on the left. And I'm still going to get pelters for saying, oh, you can't defend. Yes, I know. Having watched the full game on Tuesday of and this is going to bite me on the backside, I can tell. But having watched the full game of Doncaster on Tuesday against Stockport, their right-hand side isn't nowhere near as good as their left. And McKenzie is a proper solid defender. and Herbie Kane will sit deeper. So on that basis, I'm going to give Mr. Watts a full run and a rein to do what he wants, and then that's allowed Owen Esseni to come up top and sit alongside Ben Pepper, which I think is the only way we can play this at the minute. Playing Watts up there, he plays as a 10. They're not close enough together. All of our success has been Pepper and Talai close together, linking off each other by basically clearing quickly and then getting up the pitch. We haven't had that in the last 2 games. It's been quite shambolic. Playing Curtis up there, he's not a centre forward. He's done a half decent job, but he's so much more effective when he plays on the right. So, go through again. For those who are listening, Hammond in goal. Mackenzie, Mitchell, Ross and Edwards is the back 4. Boateng and Kane in midfield. Watts on one side, Curtis on the other, and then Esseni and Pepper up top.
I'm just, thank you for that. I'm just going to put this on screen. I think I've got the number right. I had to put my glasses on. Andy, just check that. 07975 353 938.
Close, Mike. 07875.
875. There we go. There we go. Because Stephen Cooper did ask the question, so I thought I'll just leave that, put that up there for a sec. I can't even spell Andy properly either. Look terrible. Hang on, let me sort this out. Jesus Christ, what's going on?
That's why most people call me Pricey.
Yeah, that's true. One job. I'll bring Carl's one up, and then I need to tick that again to show it. So Carl's gone for Ashby Hammond in goal. He's gone for Harding instead of Edwards, but Mackenzie as well in with Mitchell and Ross. He's gone Edwards in midfield, which is interesting considering he wasn't that good from what you all said on Saturday. Boateng alongside Curtis, Watts out wide, and Pepper and Esseni. I'll give Carl a bit of credit because of working the late shifts that he wouldn't have been up properly to study the press conference. But Andy, Grumpy, any thoughts on the 2 lineups?
Yeah, I'd probably be more leaning towards Gav's lineup for this one. I don't normally say that, Carl. But yeah, I like the fact that we've got a strong forward line there. And Amichi's been dropped. So yeah, I'll stick with Gav's.
Yeah, I can say I wouldn't disagree really too much. I think if Kane's ready, it'll be good to get him back in. We know that stabilises things a bit more. Keep cutting Heather in and out between slides. Sorry, Heather. But yeah, Andy, Prowse even, what are you saying to that lineup? Would you change anything there?
No, I like Mackenzie coming in. I think deserves his place. We need to have a proper look at him before the season's too far in.
Yeah.
And everywhere else pretty much picks itself, I think.
Yeah, Andrew T saying best team Carl's ever done. Oh, bless. A good bit of banter there.
We need to clip that up and send it to him.
Yeah, we'll just yeah, we'll do. Yeah, but no, bless him. I think. For me, Owen Esseni, I don't think I asked too much about him on Saturday night when he came on as a sub. Did he look like...
He looked sharp. He was only on for 10 minutes, sub 10 minutes, I think. I have to look. But yeah, I thought he looked very quick across the ground, sharp, hungry. He's had, 2 months on the sidelines now without getting a sniff. Even when Talai's been injured, he's not really featured. They've played Watts or someone else up alongside. And I think in order for us to do well, we need 2 proper strikers up there. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think so. It's a chance to see what those 2 can do together, that's for sure. I think the thing with Mackenzie coming in is what it probably does do is gets him starting games, but also with Edwards and Harding, I can see sort of why Carl has considered putting Harding on the right, but I wouldn't stick Edwards maybe forward. But what it should allow us to do with these 4 back-to-back games is maybe rotate Edwards where needed and also Harding to give, certainly Edwards that chance just to sort of get some rest. So, yeah, we shall see what comes of it. Stephen Cooper saying, once again, good side. Gavin, what else have we got? Matt Montgomery saying, could Benarouz play out wide instead of Caleb Watts and move Caleb Watts into centre midfield if Herbie Kane not fully fit? Yeah, that could be another option. I think if Benarouz has got some minutes in him, he can put in a good cross and do well. So we shall see on that. Baz in the Cloud saying, I want a 3-0 win and all the goals down my end where I sit under the screen. Mitchell's going to score. I mean, he was a striker in the early days, right? Yeah, that was brought up in his press conference. It was quite good. He's brilliant in his press conferences, isn't he? So I'm conscious as we are an hour and 10 in, and it's getting late. So I think we shall shut up shop on the men's and then come to Heather. So Heather, the game on Sunday, tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'm not even on the screen, but yeah.
No, you're not. Oh, sorry. My mistake again.
Terrible.
I'll tell you
Michael.
from the realm.
There you go.
Yeah, same as always. Obviously, we are got a game this weekend. We are at home and we're against Lewis. I have obviously done a bit of this on my own, like TikToks and stuff. Obviously, we have the advantage that we have played Lewis twice already this season, both away. So we've had them in the cup game and also a league game. Both times we've won. We've ended 4-0 back in August, and obviously the cup game we ended up 3-0. So they were slightly getting better, but we still have that strength over them, I think. So I think with the crowd behind the team, is like we will should easily pick up the 3 points again on Sunday.
Yeah, are you going to that one, Gav, this weekend?
Of course, yeah. The girls wouldn't miss it. I'd never be spoken to again if I didn't go on Sunday. So yeah, 2 in 2 days.
Yeah. So has there been any more games from Bournemouth and that in their games in hand, Heather, or not this week?
They played last week. They are playing this week. I think they've got. I did do this earlier on my TikToks again. They've got a relatively easy side to pick up the points. I think it's Oxford, I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still going to be tight, isn't it? So So look, if you are going to that game, enjoy it. I can't say Sophie's picked up the bug, if I'm honest. I did see your little one dressed up in a goalkeeping kit that you were sharing on socials this week. So and Gavin saying with his 2 little girls, it's interesting how some can just get hooked into it. And I think all Sophia and Sophie were doing that game, was doing the 6s and 7s thing all throughout the match. I did wonder if Sophie would sort of get a bit.
Yeah, Scarlett's absolutely hooked. Obviously, she's got.
Oh yes, of course. It was World Book Day today. Yes, so
yeah, so it's World Book Day, so that's why she dressed up as H. I don't know as well if you guys know, but Argyle women have a series called Making Waves.
Right. Okay. No, go on. Tell us about
that. So there's been 3 episodes released. The newest one came out yesterday, and it's basically just following behind the scenes of the women's, like what they do. Like in their home lives, like the football side of things as well. But also the one this time they were speaking about Phoebe Poole, the girls who got called up for Wales, and also highlighted the keepers, H and Eilish. And there's also a feature of My Little Madam in it as well.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I did, because they show some of that at half time on the on the games, don't they, on the Argyle TV? So Andrew T just confirming it's Cheltenham that Bournemouth have in there. So what are you thinking for the scoreline? Terry Alford's going 5-0 to the Greens. What do you reckon the score will be on Sunday?
I'm not too sure. Obviously, a lot of the girls are coming back off international duties. Obviously, they didn't play at the Czech Republic game, but they're more likely to play at the Montenegro game. I'm probably going to sit on the 3 again and hope we get the 3-0, another clean sheet. That's all we really need to do, pick up the points, close down that gap between Watford, and just basically try and distance ourselves as much as we can from that, like the 4th place area, because like 4th to 6th, even like 4th to 9th even is so tight at the minute that one slip point and that's it. Like people are catching each other.
Oh God, yeah, nervous disposition. So hopefully they can go on and do well on Sunday. So shout out to them and thank you as well, Heather. I know there was no game last weekend, so I said come on and just give a bit of a reminder for Sunday's game. So thank you for doing that. I do have some other duties I said I would do. PAFC Displays is doing the Graham Carey signed memorabilia raffle shirt. So go on and buy your tickets for that. It all goes towards stuff that they can then do. So they're giving supporters the chance to win some incredible pieces of Argyle memorabilia, all included in one raffle with multiple individual prizes available to win. So signed home shirt, signed away shirt, signed David Norris mini flag, Mickey Evans mini flag, fully signed We Are Argyle poster, and the Graham Carey, as you can see on screen, match worn shirt from last summer's USA 7-a-side tournament. So yes, go and get your tickets. As you can see, they start from £1, and it helps towards the great work that those guys do. So I said to Nick, I shall be more than happy to pick that up. Stevie Vaughan shared something in our group earlier from the League One lowdown although I don't think I spelled that right. Most goals from set pieces this season so far, and it has Argyle's joint second on 18. That difference, I'll come to you, Gavin, on it. That difference has pretty much been Ronan Curtis as well at times, isn't it, really?
I don't know how many we've scored since we signed Curtis in January, but I reckon it's probably at least half.
Yeah, it's something we struggled with, didn't we, for a long time, and then he's just.
I would give Sorinola his due as well. He's earlier in the season when he's put the ball in with pace has done really well, but the understanding that Mitchell, Ross, and Curtis have at the minute is probably the best in the division at the minute for centre halves going up and getting goals. So be nice for us to get 3 set pieces on Saturday and overtake Lincoln.
Yeah, it will do. There is Steve wondered if it was a little blip, but they had Luton on 18. You can see it just below us, so out of order. So maybe they are on 13.
They're 13, mate. Yeah,
we'll keep them below us anyway. Matt Montgomery just noting in the comments there, he tried to start the message earlier, but obviously lost connection. But did some research lately, and the Devon FA are offering level 1 and 2 coaching for under 20s, teaching tactics, people management, structuring coach sessions, and analysing formations. So if you've got anyone that you might feel would be interested in that, then go and look that up. I think that's a good little shout to add in the chat there, Matt. Thank you for that. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I've got anything else. Any final things from yourself, Gavin?
No, just let's get a strong enough team out on Saturday and do the business and get 3 points. Move on.
Yeah, definitely. Any final thoughts from yourself, Grumpy?
Just 3 points Saturday. Move on to the Wigan game on Tuesday night and get another 3 points, hopefully.
Yeah, against Exeter's ex-manager. I think they got a win as well again at the weekend, didn't they? Andy P, thank you for sharing what you do as well with us tonight and joining us for this show. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. But any final words of wisdom from yourself?
Sorry, for me?
Yeah.
Me and wisdom don't go together. But
that's fine.
Looking forward to Saturday. Let's have the win.
Yeah, get the points. Before I come to Heather as well, to end on, there was a couple of other bits actually that Finley shared out earlier. So obviously Joe Hatch was recalled from his loan at Torquay due to lack of game time. He's then gone on to join Southern League Premier Division club Taunton for a second loan spell of the season. And also, as it clicks through, obviously Bim Peppel has been nominated as well for the League One Player of the Month award through the PFA. So, that's pretty good. Go and vote for him. If you want to look up the link, go and find Argyle News Hub on all social platforms that Finley looks after there. Heather, any final thoughts from you on the men's or the women's team or anything in general in life?
Obviously want the men to pick up the points as well. Obviously they're fighting for the promotion side of things. Women, obviously we can't let it slip that if we pick up a draw, the thoughts of our promotion is out the window. I know obviously if people are on here on about the National League Cup final. We are putting on a bus now through the Green Taverners. So if anyone wants to book on to come and support the women up in QPR, obviously just find our information on the support club socials.
Yeah, perfect. Well, look, from me, like I said at the start, I can't believe how quick these weeks are going because it's been busy, and that's always good. It means we get closer to either having an enjoyable or suffering game for Plymouth. But also, it's F1 weekend again, and I know there'll be some that go on in F1. But yeah, the new season starts, and I cannot wait. Will I be sad enough to get up at 2:30 to watch it? Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the F1 season. It's good to have it back. Other than that, though, look, let's hope we can get out there and put in a performance. It would be good to see a couple of players back. And fingers crossed we can pick up 3 points again. But thank you for those of you that have joined us tonight and being very good in the chat as well. So thank you again. And if you're listening, as usual, on the podcast platforms, thank you for dialing in and catching up with the show. Other than that, from all of us, we'll see you on Saturday evening after the game.